Hi, everyone. This is Jackie with Healing Paths and also with the podcast. Thanks for sharing. I wanted to give you another preview at the podcast episode that will be released tomorrow. So you can find and listen to the full podcast episode on any of the platforms where you listen to podcasts, or you can follow the link in this video over to our YouTube channel and watch the full podcast in video on YouTube. And while you're there, please hit share, like, and subscribe. So in this podcast episode, I'm talking about betrayal blindness. Often I've talked about betrayal trauma, and this is a related concept, betrayal blindness, but it's a little bit different. Often when we have betrayal trauma, meaning there is a betrayal in our close relationships, the ones that we are dependent on or interdependent on, the ones that we consider to be valuable and close. Often if we are betrayed, and this happens all the time, if we're betrayed by people that we don't know, they're strangers, or if we're betrayed by people who we have just a casual acquaintance with, but they're not really in our inner circle, and they betray us, we might get mad, we might get irritated, we'll probably distance from them, we might say a few mean things about them to the people that we do trust, and we'll move out of relationship with them. But it's different when this is somebody that is in our inner circle, that this is somebody who we think that we have a trusting relationship with. And betrayal blindness doesn't just apply to relationships. It can also be, and I like that Dr. Jennifer Freyd casts a pretty wide net when it comes to betrayal trauma and to betrayal blindness. She talks about, in the books that I'm pulling from her research on for this podcast episode, she talks about how this can happen, betrayal trauma and betrayal blindness can happen for kids in a family setting. They might be betrayed by one or both parents. She also talks about how it can happen institutionally. Throughout the book, she gives examples from history of times when there have been betrayals, maybe political betrayals within a country or within the government to its people. She talks about how betrayal trauma and likewise betrayal blindness can show up in toxic work cultures and workplaces. Betrayal trauma and betrayal blindness has shown up throughout history with religious institutions where there is trust. People look to their religious leaders for guidance, support, and nurturing. And when that is betrayed, there's a potential to have betrayal blindness. There has also been abuse and cover-ups of abuse at universities by people in authority. Again, because of the nature of the relationship, meaning it's a valued and trusted relationship, we can have betrayal blindness and not fully be aware of the betrayal trauma. So if you want to hear the full podcast episode, you can find us at the apps that you listen to podcasts on. The podcast is Thanks for Sharing, and you'll see my face. That's how you'll know it's the right podcast. Or you can follow the link in this video and head over to our YouTube channel and watch the full podcast episode in video. Thanks.